Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And now we see them. Today we got a hell of a show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is CTABANZ. Want to follow the channel on Instagram, same name channel, Dreamers Pro. And we got the full podcast today in the comment section if you guys want it before it comes out on YouTube. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So I've started to push recently, over the last few weeks, for Kawhi Leonard to be included in the MVP conversation. Now, if any of you who've been following this channel for some time will know that Kawhi Leonard is currently my favorite player in the NBA. He reminds me of Kobe. He reminds me of Jordan Kobe, who's my favorite player of all time. He worked with Kobe. Kawhi Leonard's game went to a totally different stratosphere the year him and Kobe Bryant got together after Greg Popovich in the All-Star game, I believe back in 2013. Was it 13 or 14, one of those years where he basically asked Kobe to get in the air Kawhi. They started working out together, and the very next season, Kawhi Leonard turned into a totally different player. And there's actual video out there of DeMarcus Cousins saying that I heard he was working with Kobe because this dude is damn good. Ever since then, Kawhi Leonard has been an offensive machine, but you also want to credit Kawhi Leonard for always being a hard worker and being one of the greatest defenders of all time in his position, right? Two-time Defensive Player of the Year. So I'm a big Kawhi Leonard fan, but I'm also fair, right? When the Clippers were effing up, Kawhi wasn't playing and all of that, I would call them out. But now that the Clippers are playing well, Kawhi Leonard is playing well, I'm giving him his just due. And I've noticed that there are people that feel like they need to hold things against Kawhi because maybe he missed games in the past. So therefore, whatever he does in the future should not count, which is total BS, right? If the guy misses games, if certain things happen, you want to criticize him, fantastic. But if the guy's doing well and he's earning it, then you need to go out there and give him his credit. I rarely produce videos where I'm like, oh, supporting Kawhi. I always thought he was one of the best players in the NBA, although I still think Nikola Jokic is the best player we got going in the league. But, I think Kawhi Leonard is a top 5 guy, top 3 guy when he's on his game. But now that I'm seeing that he's playing very well, I think Kawhi Leonard should be one of the top candidates for MVP consideration, given the fact that the Clippers have won, 26 out of their last 31 games. Are you freaking kidding me? And you've been looking at the numbers that Kawhi Leonard put up. So recently, yesterday, I came across a clip from Undisputed, which had Richard Sherman, Keyshawn Johnson, and we're talking about it. And they were talking about Kawhi Leonard's MVP chances. Keyshawn Johnson, who's a Laker fan, was pro Kawhi. Richard Sherman, who's from LA, he was hating on Kawhi hard. And then, he just started going into this crazy argument and started making these obtuse points about why Kawhi Leonard should be in the conversation and the numbers and all of that. So that's what we want to get into today. But before we even get into that, this video is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries. Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit matchup up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And once again, once you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do is play exactly this exchange. The comments that Richard Sherman had to say on Undisputed yesterday. And we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Richard Sherman had to say here.
Skip. I think that's tough. I don't think it's high at all. I think it's relatively low because he doesn't have the numbers. And you know how I am, Skip.
Here we go again. Yep.
Regardless of the spot.
Yeah.
You got Jokic averaging 26, 12, and 9, I think. You got Embiid, he's hurt right now, but averaging like 30. You got Luka Doncic averaging 35, 10 and 9, or 9 and 10.
Yes.
Like, Skip, you're not going to 24, 4, and 6. is not going to get it done for the MVP. Giannis is averaging 31 and 11. You're not going to get MVP over those guys with 24, 4, and 6, regardless of what your team's doing. If they're number one in the West, I mean, it would be cool. It'd be a great story. Hey, they got a great team. They're doing great things. But the MVP of the league is probably one of these other guys that's carrying their team statistically, and that's usually who it goes to. So I would think it goes to Giannis, Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, it could go to Luka, but, I don't think they're playing well enough right now for him to get it. It almost seems like y'all are describing Giannis Antetokounmpo because their record is better in Milwaukee. So you're talking about what they could be with the Clippers, but they're not. They're third in the West. So Giannis is averaging 31 and 11, always in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. And so that's what your MVP looks like. 24, 4, and 6 is not impressive, even with the 45% three-point. He doesn't shoot that many. So cool. It's a high stat. Fourth. I got you. 29th in field goal percentage, not top 50 in assists, and so you're 20th in scoring. It doesn't sound like MVP numbers to me. No. It sounds like when you're saying, hey, he's leading his team, that's what Giannis is doing. They go as he goes. That's what they do in Milwaukee. They go as Giannis goes. If Giannis is off and he doesn't play well, they're not going to win a championship in Milwaukee.
Okay.
So I hear what you're saying, but it just doesn't add up.
Point.
So you heard what Richard Sherman had to say. I got a lot that I want to get into here. Here. Richard Sherman said a lot, and I want to address some of the things that he was saying. Somebody left a comment when I spoke about Kawhi Leonard's numbers on our community section, and the person says, "Oh, now you care about efficiency, right?" Now, why did they say that? They said that because the argument some LeBron fans have said is, well, LeBron is a more efficient player because he has a higher overall field goal shooting percentage than Kobe. And I'm like, those numbers are a bit deceptive because LeBron's field goal percentage is predominantly made up of dunks and layups. And they're like, no, but he still shoots a higher field goal percentage. So let me tell you the reason why I made such a big deal out of Kawhi's efficiency. Let's get into the numbers here for a quick second, and I'm going to address another point that Richard Sherman brought up. Kawhi Leonard this season is scoring 24.4 points per game on 53.3% shooting from the field, career high, 45.7% from the three, career high, 89.2% from the free throw line, while getting you 6.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.5 turnovers, and 1.7 steals in a career high, and blocks 0.9, and will make the all-first defensive team. Kawhi Leonard is playing all-first defensive team. Forget about what all these other people, Kawhi don't play defense. Forget about what all of them are saying. I watch a lot of the Clippers games. He is a menace on defense, and he changes games with his defense. We have that. Now, I want to get into the efficiency thing. You see, when I talk about efficiency with Kawhi, I'm talking about real efficiency. And I want to get into the advanced data, and I'm getting this from Basketball Reference. You can go hunt this information down. I want to get into Kawhi's efficiency from various distance on the floor. I want to talk about his shooting. Kawhi Leonard this season is shooting 80.6% from 0 to 3 feet, basically at the rim. 52% from 3 to 10 feet. From 10 to 16 feet, Kawhi Leonard is shooting 52.5% from the 3 to 10 foot area. From the 10 to 16 foot area on the floor, Kawhi Leonard is shooting 51.3%. And he's shooting 35%. No, from 16 to 3-point line, he's shooting 36%. And from the 3-point line, he is shooting 45.7%. This is real efficiency. Kawhi is efficient everywhere on the floor. Everywhere. And they actually double this dude on most nights. And they force James Harden or Russell Westbrook and those other guys to beat him. So he's scoring off of his limited opportunities. That's the first thing. He mentioned something else about numbers. Kawhi Leonard doesn't have the numbers to be considered the MVP. Kawhi Leonard doesn't have the numbers to be considered MVP. And I want to get into someone who won the MVP 2 times. A 2-time regular season MVP winner. And that player would be who? Steve Nash. Steve Nash won MVP in the season of 2004 and 2005, and in the season of 2005 and 2006. Let's go look at Steve Nash's numbers those years. In 2004 and 2005, Steve Nash was averaging 15 points per game, 15.5 points per game, on 50% shooting from the field, 43% shooting from the three-point line, 88.7% shooting from the free throw line, while getting you 3 rebounds a game and 11.5 assists and 1 steals per game and 0.1 blocks. The following season, he averaged 18.8 points per game on 51% shooting, 43.9% shooting from the three-point line, 92% from the free throw line. He had a 50-40-90 season, while getting you 4.2 rebounds, 10.5 assists, and 1 steal a game. So if Steve Nash qualified to win those MVPs, how Kawhi Leonard not qualified and he got better numbers? And Steve Nash got 2. I'm saying Kawhi Leonard should be in the MVP conversation. I'm not even saying he should win. Because if the Clippers get the number 1 seed and he keeps playing well and he's averaging over 25 points per game, he should be the MVP. He should be the MVP if they keep winning like this. They've had the best record since December. They're the best team in the NBA, number 1 offense in the NBA. Steve Nash just won it, so what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? To me, I think Richard got caught hating hard on Kawhi Leonard, and I don't think he went through the information all the way through, because Kawhi Leonard should definitely be in the conversation. This is just my take. What I want to know from you guys, what do you think about what Richard had to say? What do you think about my arguments? Whatever you guys have to say, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.